So data types in MS Access. The first one is, you can see over here, short text, which can store up to 255 characters. Okay, like phone numbers, addresses, phone numbers, postal codes. You don't need to perform any arithmetic calculations on these. Textual data types are those data types where you do not, they are usually of, you can say, string data types or alphanumeric data types, which consists of alphabets, capital A to Z, small a to Z, digit 0 to 9, and special characters. Okay, so if I talk about short text, as said in the versions 2013 and onwards, up to the latest version 2019 and Office 365 also, and this same data type is known as text in version 2010 and lower versions. Okay, so it contains how much? It can accept only up to 255 characters. So it is good for small values like someone's name, course name, employee name, city, state, anything else which you can think of, subject, department, all those types of short text, all those type of values where you don't need much characters, where your work would be sufficed within 25 characters. So those are named as either short text or text. Both are one and the same thing, only their names have been changed. In the second one, it is long text, which can store up to 65,535 characters, and it is used for storing text like notes and descriptions, usually like product description, employee profile. Okay, all these type, or directions to reach someone's house. So these usually contain characters which are more than, which can exceed 255 characters. So the name long text or memo, please write it somewhere. Short text is also known as text, whereas long text is also known as memo. In version 2010 and lower, it is known as memo, and in 2013 onwards, it is known as long text. Number, it is used for calculations. Okay, any type of value like marks, someone's marks, or the value, or you want to print the area of a circle, that one. Okay, all those values which are numeric in nature, which are used to perform calculations, that can be considered as number. Okay, age can be considered as number, experience can be considered as numbers. Date time, it is used for storing what? Date and time values, like someone's date of birth, date of joining, and so on. Currency, you can specify various currency and display them in various formats simply. Then we had studied auto number, where automatically numbers are generated, which usually serves as the primary key for a table. What is a primary key? Usually there is a field in the table which uniquely identifies all the records. Like your roll number is a primary key. No two students in the class will have the same roll number. No two employees in a company will have the same employee ID. Got it? No two persons in India will have the same Aadhaar number. Next, yes, no, which takes up values that is true or false. Yes is true and no is false. These four things, we don't need to see it right now. We will be seeing it once you have already covered or mastered these previous data types. So let us see the types. Examples. Take a look. Short text or text can be used to represent student name, employee name, product name, city, state, department, item description, customer name, course, supplier name, subject, and many more. Any data of this type will be considered as text or short text. Take a very good look at all these type of values. Next is memo or long text. Address of a person. Sometimes the address could contain a lot many streets and your like street number, locality, phase 1, phase 2, then the apartment building complex there, and then the floor, and then the flat number. So it could move up to it. There is a possibility it might exceed 255 characters. Remark, product description, course details, company details, any data with large number of characters. Next is number, marks, course fee, serial number, salary, allowances, price, roll number, quantity, deductions, can have any digits after the decimal point. That is, can have any number of digits after the decimal point. If you are writing something like 85.1234, any number of digits you can have after the decimal point. This is in case of number data type. Okay, doesn't have currency symbol, can be used to specify any numeric value, with decimal, without decimal. So you can use it for representing both integers also and real numbers also. Okay, what are integers? Class 10 students, can you tell me what are integers?
Ma'am, yeah.
Yes.
Ma'am, integers are the number which are having either positive or negative power. They can also be
Not
in
power,
the
dear. Continue.
and they can be in decimals and whole numbers also.
Dear, you have got it wrong. Okay, make one change. You said correct about positive and negative. You know about the number line? You might have studied this in maths.
Yes, ma'am.
In between you have 0. Towards the left side you have all the positive values.
Yes, ma'am.
Which continue up to positive infinity. Okay, and on the right, sorry, this is towards the right hand side, sorry, and towards the left you have all the negative values, which continues up to negative infinity. Okay, so, and you can see that all these values are whole numbers. They are not in fractions. Okay, so all whole numbers which are positive, negative, or 0, these are known as integers. And all values which have something after the decimal point, like 45.5, 123.75, okay, 50.5. So it has places after the decimal point. That is, it is a fractional number, not a whole number. Hence, these numbers fall under the category of real numbers. Understood? So all these numbers, integers or real numbers, that can be represented using which data type? Number. Okay, and you can perform arithmetic calculations on such values. Suitable for arithmetic calculations. Okay, next is currency, money, fee, salary, HRA, that is house rent allowance, DA, that is dearness allowance, TA, that is travel allowance, provident fund, income tax, price, rate of interest, loan amount. All these are examples of currency data type. It has a currency symbol fixed. Okay, there are only two subtle differences from number. That is, firstly, it has a currency symbol, and secondly, it allows only up to 2 places after the decimal. Suitable for representing all monetary values, because in monetary values we don't need more than 2 places after the decimal. Suitable for arithmetic calculations. Okay, so I would want you all to just, okay, I'll be sharing this PPT with you, so no need. So these are the two differences between currency and number. Next is date and time. DOJ, date of joining, date of birth, order date, purchase date, exam date, course start date, and many more. Anything which involves date, even check-in date, check-out date. Check-in date and time, check-out date and time. In a hotel, if you are creating a database for a hotel, when the customer checked in, when did the customer check out? So you want to record the time of entering the hotel and leaving the hotel. Okay, so for that you will be needing the exact date as well as time information along with it. Now this is a table. Look, take a very good look at a table. Here, what are these known as? This is the header row. We have already studied this in HTML. Many things you will be able to relate from there. Okay. Can anybody tell me what are the field names in this table? What are the field names in this table?
Item number, item name,
Item
order
number,
number,
item name, order
company
number,
ID.
company ID.
Very good. Item
Company
menu,
ID.
item name, order number, company ID. These are the field names. How many fields? 4 fields in this table. This is one column or field which represents only one type of information. Okay, that is item menu. This is one record. Okay, let me tell you that the top row, header row, is not counted as a record, students. Okay, rest all the rows will be counted as records. So how many records do you see in this table?
5.
How many records? There are 5 records. A001 through A005. And one record is a collection of data values pertaining to all the fields. That is, you can see this record contains data values for item menu also, item name also, that is mixer grinder, order number, company ID. Likewise, you have all the 5 records containing all field values as well. Okay, now we will actually start with MS Access. Okay, the very first thing which I am going to start in MS Access is creating a database. So we will go according to this. Second, let me just open the. We will be starting with the very first one, that is creating a database for the first time. So I'm going to close all this. Yes. How to create a database. So watch it very carefully. First, I'm going to switch on the magnifier over here. Yes, Nikhil.
I am not having data access in my laptop.
Okay. What you can do is, do you have the setup of MS Office?
Yes, ma'am, I have
2010.
lifetime
So you do.
365.
Oh, then it's good. So you go to Office 365, you will find access over there. You just need to
Ma'am,
install
but
it. Okay, you might not.
not under the package it I have bought.
हम कौन सा पैकेज वाला यूज कर रहे हैं? हम भी तो फ्री वाला ही यूज कर रहे हैं. आई एम यूजिंग ऑफिस 2016, दैट टू pirated version. Okay, so you have to look for its setup from somewhere. Although I have the setup, but there is no way I can share it with you because it's a very large folder in GBs, and transferring that online, it's not possible. So I'll try to look for any torrent site from where you can get the complete setup of Office. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so now the thing is, yes, you might face a problem because you are using a licensed version for MS Office. No, let's see. I'll find out what can be done about that. Okay, right now we have just started with it. We'll see what can be done. Okay.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, today you are about to explain some few more CSS codes.
Yeah, I had it, but I really didn't get time to prepare for that because so many things were there, preparing for retest, and many other things were also there, right? So I'll do that whenever I plan it. I'll tell you, right?
Okay,
I
ma'am.
also need to speed up with my syllabus because very soon, next towards the end of September, you will be having your first term also. Okay. So we need to speed up because the other sections, they are already covering a meaty part of it. So we have to start working on MS Access. Once we have completed a substantial portion of MS Access, I would be jumping over to CSS only. Okay. Okay, before I continue with the rest, I'm going to first show a small video to you all from where the concept of databases would be entirely clear to you. So just wait. Just wait, okay? I'm going to stop the share over here. Just give me a moment. Yes, okay, so I got it and I'm going to start with that. Please plug in your earphones, headphones, okay? Because there is going to be a video which I'm going to show you, which will make your concepts clearer about databases.
Databases are all around you. Have you ever waited at the doctor's office while the receptionist punched in your information? Or asked a store employee to check their system for a special item? Then you've seen a database in action. The truth is, they're so useful you see them all the time. With Microsoft Access, you can manage your own database to suit the needs of your business or maybe the company you work for.
But what exactly is a database?
Well, it's a collection of information or data that's stored on a computer, allowing you to enter, access, and analyze it in a way you never could on paper. Let's think about that. Before computers, what sort of paper records do you think the doctor's office kept on file? Certainly a list of patients and their contact information, also their medical history and a list of past appointments. That's how databases work, from the simplest to the most complex. They're basically a collection of lists, not on paper but on your computer, where programs like Access make it possible to organize your data, make it searchable, and so much more. Let's take a look. Say you're a hardworking amateur baker. You might decide to keep a database of all the cookies you know how to make and the people you make them for, your friends and family. A simple database because it only contains 2 lists. If you were a professional baker, your database would contain more. You'd have products and customers, and other things to keep track of like prices, sales units, and a list of orders.
Does Access actually keep these things in a big, long list?
Not quite. Instead, it uses tables, like the ones in Excel, to list things in a little more detail. Take this example from the Amateur Baker's database. It lists friends and family, but also important information like who has a nut allergy and the rest of the table. So, if a database is essentially a collection of lists stored in tables, and you can build tables in Excel, why Access? Why do you need a database at all? Let's compare. While Excel is great at storing and organizing numbers, Access is better at analyzing and connecting other types of data. For example, names and descriptions, or your friends and their favorite cookies. The databases you'll be working with in Access can actually understand how different lists and their contents relate to one another. We call this a relational database for its ability to understand relationships. And it's really what sets Access apart. Let's think about what that means while we go back to our Amateur Baker's database and build a third list to keep track of batches of cookies and who they're for. It's easy to see the relationship here. All I did was pull Dwayne from this list and Shortbread from here. Access can see and use that relationship too, but Excel can't. All of these things are completely unrelated as far as Excel is concerned. That means you wouldn't be able to pull from one list to another. Eventually, you'd find yourself typing the same thing over and over every time you needed to refer to Dwayne or your shortbread recipe or Dad and chocolate chip. In short, Access thinks more like you. It recognizes that the items in these 3 lists are connected. That makes entering, searching, and analyzing data so much easier, whether you have 2 lists or 20. Less to type, less to keep track of. Even the most complicated tasks can be made simple and user-friendly once you understand how Access and databases work.
Like what you just saw? Rate it.
Add a comment.
So I hope you all understood the basic concept of databases, students.
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, how databases enable us to connect, relate to, and connect to data. So now let's start with MS Access. Okay, so we'll go back to start. And over here, we will have to first look for MS Access. As you can see in the A list, I can already see it. If you don't find it, you have to just type Access over here. And the moment you type, you will get it. What you can do is, for purposes of convenience, you can right click on it and you can pin it to the start menu, so that next time you don't have to go around searching for it. So I'm going to place it over here. So Access is there. Now I'm using Access 2016 version. Okay, you might be using 2007 version, 2010 version, 2013, or maybe Office 365 version also. But please do not use the version 2003 and lower. Okay, I recommend using 2007, 2010 and higher versions on it. Okay, higher the version, the better. Why? Because it is always good practice to learn the latest version of any software, because obviously the latest version of a software will contain more features than the previous versions. Okay, so try to use the latest version. If you cannot arrange for a latest version, that is also okay. 2007 is also sufficient for that. So little bit look and feel might be different there, but ultimately you will be able to figure out. Any version you use, the very first screen you get is something like this, which allows you to choose a database. Okay, so the first database, now although it has some ready-made templates, as you can see here, like asset tracking, contacts, students, event management, task management, but we will be going for the very first one, that is blank desktop database. Okay, so click on this. The moment you click on this, you get this small window over here, blank desktop database, which asks for a file name. Now in MS Access, please remember, a database will be stored as a file. Okay, in MS Access, every database will be stored as a file. Now you need to understand the difference. One sec, let me explain this to you first. Databases. It is a collection of tables. A database can contain multiple tables, and in MS Access it is saved as a file with extension .accdb, that is Access Database. Okay, Access Database, understood? So it is stored as a file, and this file can contain many objects. This database can contain tables, it can contain forms, it can contain reports, it can contain queries, it can contain macro, modules, and the like. Okay, so all these things which you see here, a database can contain all these values, but we will start from the building blocks, that is tables. Until and unless you have tables in your database, you cannot create forms, reports, queries, and other things. All these things are dependent on tables. At least one table should be there in your database to be able to create a form, report, or query, macro, as well as module. Although these two we are not going to cover, we are going to see forms, reports, and queries. Okay, so we are going to start with creating tables. So we come back over here. So we are going to provide a name, and what type of name should we give? The very first database which I am going to create is going to be an employee database, or we can say, we can take it in the form of company. So I am naming it as company DB, which will store data like employees, departments, okay, then some other customers, understood, product. So all these type of tables would be there in my company database. So I have used company DB as the name. It is by default, it will be saved over here, that is C users my documents. If you want, you can change its path also. So I'm going to go to browse, and from here I can select a suitable location where I want to save it, like D drive, and within D drive Microsoft Teams, and from here class 10th DBMS, and maybe within this Access DB folder I can save it. Now it already contains a database with the name company DB, so I'm not going to save it as company DB, but I'm going to change its name a little bit, database. Okay, so I'll be saving it in that location only. I've already saved it as a shortcut here, so I'll access it from there, access DB, and here I'm going to save it. You can see it can accept Microsoft Access 2007 to 2016 databases. Click on OK, and finally you can see that your path has been updated. So now your database will be saved in this path only. Create. Now this create database is going to create your database. Let us verify first, okay, whether it has been truly created or not. We go to DBMS, Access DB. Yes, so you can see this company database has been created over here. Now, the very first thing, let me familiarize you with the entire window. At the top, we have the title bar. This is the quick access panel where we have some options like save, undo, redo, okay, and the customize quick access toolbar also, from where we can add or remove some options, like we can add open option over here so that we can quickly open, click it and open any existing database. You have the tabs over here, file, home, create, external data, and so on. What does the file tab contains? Info, new. If you want to open a new, create a new database, you can click on this. Open, this is used for opening all the recent databases, or you can also use the browse option to browse to the location for getting the database. Save is for saving your database. Save as is to make a copy of the current database. Print is for printing it. Close, account, and options. So we are not going to see any of these right now because we have already opened a new database, and here you can see company database, which is of type database, and it is also displaying the path of it. Now over here we go to home tab. Now home tab contains so many different options. You can see views. In what all views can you see your table? Data sheet view and design view. Right now it is opened in which view? Data sheet view. So this is, you can see here, all access objects. If I just increase this, you can see all access objects you will be seeing over here. Right now, by default, it opens one table. That is, this database is completely empty. So it should contain at least one table. So it has automatic, the moment you create a new database, Access automatically creates a table for you, right? Now what our task is, we should not leave the name as table 1, because just by looking at this table 1, nothing is becoming clear about what I have to store in the table. So instead of table 1, I'm going to save it. So I'll click on this save button. It will ask me to save the table. It will ask a table name. So I'm going to give the table name as employee. Remember, save should also always be your first priority. Okay. Whenever you create a new table, you should first save that table. Otherwise, if suppose electricity goes off or your software stops working abruptly due to some avoidable circumstances, you will not be able to save any of the data which you are storing in the table. Understood? So click on OK, and now you can see that the name has changed. You can also rename a table by right clicking and going to the rename option. So this rename option will allow you to give a new name to the table, provided that the table is closed. So let's wait for it. It is showing some processing over here. Yes, so it's giving me a message, you can't rename the database while it's open. Okay, so the database is open right now, so you need to close the database. Now to close the database, there are two buttons. This button will close the entire application, and this small close is going to close the table. You can see the tooltip also. If you close it, now you right click, go to rename, you can, it allows you to give another name to the table. Okay, so I can make it as employee table. That is, I just change the name. Now double click on it and again it will open. And here also you can see the name of the table. Now here you can see a field ID. Always when you create a table in MS Access, it is going to add this ID field automatically. And within this ID field, you can see something like new. What is this new? Let's go to the design view and see. So for that, we go to Home tab, Views group, View, go to Design view and see the data type here is auto number. That is, this field is automatically going to generate numbers. Let us switch back to datasheet view, and here we need to click to add what fields, right? So we are going to create an employee table, and let me just search for an employee table first. Wait a second, I'll just open a table. I think I had already, okay. Let us search for some employee table and create that, okay? Because I need to show you how to work with actual data. Sample employee table. Let me see if I can get some sample table. Okay, too complicated. Let it be. So we'll create our own table. So we go back to this, and the first thing which I'm going to add in my table is employee ID. So I'm going to type it as emp code, employee code. Second one, e-name, that is employee name. Third one, I want to select department NO, DEPT-NO, because I'm going to create a new table known as department, which will contain the actual names of departments, just like you had seen it in the patient table. Okay, doctors and patient. Every doctor had a doctor ID, and that doctor ID was used in the patient table. So similarly, department number will be used in the employee table. Similarly, designation and salary. Understood? So we have these. Now I'm going to give a sample record and you have to determine what should be the data type. Determine the data type. What should be the data type of employee code? Till then I'll take the attendance. Yes, students. What should be the data type for this employee code?
E102, short E102.
I'm asking data type. What type of data does it represent?
Short text.
Very good. Text or short text? Okay, e-name. E-name and designation both. Yes, short text. Department number.
Number.
This is again short text. And salary.
Currency.
There is a currency sign.
Currency.
Only 10 places after the decimal. Yes, very good. Currency. Okay. So now you all know how to figure out the data type. Very good, everyone. So we'll come back to our database. The first one is employee code. So let us first click here. Now when you click here, you get a list of all the data types. Employee code, we had selected short text, so we will select short text. Now this part is highlighted, so you can directly start typing here. That is MO. Now when you press enter, it will open the list for the second field. The second field was also short text, and this was e-name, that is employee name. Then press enter. Then the next one was department number. So we will select number, DEPT, NO. Enter. Next one will be again short text, designation. Enter. Now next one will be currency. So I'm going to type here what? Currency as, 1 second.
Salary.
Salary, I forgot. Actually, I got drifted somewhere. Now, when you press enter, it is again going to open the list. So it is not necessary that you have to select a data type over here. You can simply click outside. Your table completes over here. Go to save and just save the structure. Close it. And now you again open it. You will see, you will still find this click to add, but you don't need to provide this because we know that our table needs only these many fields. If you want to add further fields like date of joining and date of birth, you can click on this and you can add it. Okay, so let us add one more, that is date of join. So date of joining, we will be taking it as date time, and I'm going to name it as DOJ. Press enter. I'm going to add another field here, a yes no field. Married or not. Okay, if the person will be married, a check will be, you'll see in a short while how data is entered. Now I'm going to enter the first data. So I'm going to click on this EMP code and just watch here. Let me increase the font size, students, and select this entire table. And from here, from the home tab, text formatting group, you can change the font specifications. Is it visible to everyone now? Can you see, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just increase the, 1 second. Now employee code, I'm going to type employee code as E101. Press enter, go to the next one. So Raj Sharma, department number I'm giving as 10, designation assistant, salary, let me give salary as 15,000. Enter, and the moment you press enter, you can see this hash. That is because only thing, the width of this data exceeds the width of the field or the column. So you can just increase the column width and you will be able to see you had entered only 15,000, but it automatically took the currency symbol, took the separator, that digit separator, that is comma, 0.00 itself. So access is that user friendly. Now very interesting column, DOJ, date of joining, which contains information, date, time information. You can see a small calendar icon over here. When you click on this, you will get a calendar from where you can get to select everything. Okay, so like suppose, now what happens, suppose the person had joined the organization in the year 1998. तो अब आप एक एक करके क्लिक करके तो 1998 में नहीं जाओगे, right? What you do is arbitrarily just select any date and from here you can change it. You can make it as 1998, change the year. First one is date, second is year. Sorry, first one is date, second is month, third is year. So from here, let me say he joined in the 9th month, that is September, and the date was 24th September. You can do this very easily. I'm going to increase it and you can see how it looks like. The date format is by default this DD MM Y Y Y Y. Understood? That is first 2 are for date, second 2 month, and last 4 are for the year. So 24th September 1998. So the idea is select any date and then make changes. Okay. And married, suppose he is married. So if you check, this is a toggle box. Okay. If you click on it, it will be checked. If you again click on it, it will be unchecked. If he is married, check, and this represents the value yes, okay, or true. If you uncheck it, it represents the value false. So note down this also. This means yes, this means no. This yes also shows true, no also shows false. Okay. Now go to the next one, press enter, type. You can see it automatically generates. She works in department number 20 and she is a manager there, and her salary is considerably higher, and her date of joining, you can also type date of joining over here if you can, like 15 dash, she joined in the month of April and she joined in year 2000. You can do that also. Okay. And she is unmarried. Raj Sharma was married. She is unmarried. So you will leave this box unchecked. Enter. You can also use your arrow keys. So I've used, like I'm using the up arrow key, right arrow key, left arrow key, down arrow key. Okay. So here E103, enter. Here again 20, and maybe he's also an assistant there. He gets slightly more salary, maybe he gets 20,000 over there, and the date. So here again I'm following this technique. Maybe he joined very recently, that is in the month of March 2020. So I will be selecting that date from here. Press enter. He is unmarried, very young. Okay, next. You can continue entering the data in this way. And now if you want to close it, you don't need to save it because data is automatically saved. The moment you type something and press enter to go to the next value, it is automatically saved. You can see this by clicking on this close. Do you want to save the changes to the layout? Yes, we made some changes to the layout, that is we had added DOJ and married. So we will click on yes. Now if you double click, you can see that it is opened. Okay. And this area is for showing that a new record can be added. If you want, you can just leave it empty. Okay, no need to add anything over here. Now this is the data sheet view, students. If I just switch the view to design view, you can see that in the design view you are able to see the data types of all the fields. ID is auto number, M code is short text, E name is short text, DPTNO is number. So this this design view contains 3 different columns: field name, data type, and description. Okay, field names, all the fields are specified here: M code, E name, DPTNO, designation, salary, DOJ, merit. Okay, this view will not contain any data, it will only contain the description of the table. Okay, this second column is for data type, third column is for description. It is an optional field, that is if you want you can skip this. Optional field means here you can just provide a description. For example, this field specifies the auto generated ID for all employees. So I gave this description here for M code. This field contains the unique identification number for all employees. So if you want, you can just provide a description to each of these fields. Okay, so that you can do anytime, and you can see it is short text, and you can see the field size, that is in 255. Inconvenience. Hello. Yes, sorry for the inconvenience, students. There had been some problem in my system, because of which I had to open my system again, and right now I have joined through my mobile. So already the time is over. It's 9:50. So we will stop over here and we'll meet in the next class. So I hope you all have understood the class today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Then I'll take your leave today. We'll meet in the next class. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.